Well, it was a long road to get here, but the BC Conservatives have picked their new party leader. And that new leader is Kerry-Lynne Findlay. It was a tight contest, and in the end, on the fourth ballot, Kerry-Lynne Findlay beating Caroline Elliott by 2%. Reporter Wolf Depner with the Canadian Press was there in the room in Vancouver as this all unfolded on Saturday night, and we wanted to get him on the line to get a sense of how that all went. Wolfgang Depner, great to talk to you again. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning. I'm doing fine, thank you, and good morning to you and your listeners.
So you're there that night. So walk us through how that felt and kind of how it all went down.
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk about all the rounds, but you can sure tell the sense of anticipation that was hanging in the air when Executive Director Angelo Isidoro stepped up for the fourth and final time to announce the eventual winner, Kerry-Lynne Findlay. There was a bit of a hush going through the room when he said that fellow Conservatives, it couldn't get any closer. And it was, I mean, everybody knows the final results by now. It was really close. And in many ways, it was sort of a fitting finale to what has been a very long session, what has been a very long and complicated race within the Conservative Party to replace John Rustad as leader. It was, as I say, sort of a fitting end to what has been a very interesting process. And the next step, of course, now is what happens to the party under her leadership. There was a meeting Sunday where Findlay met with her caucus. There are lots of questions hanging over some other issues, such as where will she run? She'll need a seat in the legislature. Perhaps from my perspective, the most elegant solution would be for her husband, Brent Chapman, who's the MLA for Surrey South, to step down, and she could run in that seat. Other questions about the former Conservatives who are now sitting as independent MLAs. Some have signaled that they might be interested in coming back. Others have said, sorry, not under Kerry-Lynne Findlay. It's always nice to celebrate any victory, but once that buzz has worn off a little bit, you got to focus on what lies ahead.
Yeah, and unifying the party seems to be what lies ahead in one sense. And I want to go back to the room on Saturday night. You were there. One of the things that I wanted to get a sense of is I feel like, and I don't think I'm wrong about this, that the BC Conservative Party is a bit divided amongst itself. I mean, that's one of the whole reasons we saw what happened to John Rustad happen, and different splitter MLAs leaving the party. There's been some division, and was that division on display at all in the room as those results came down? As certain candidates that might have represented one side, maybe were losing out to the other side. Was that at all evident?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned sort of the sense of anticipation that was hanging over the air, and after KLF, Kerry-Lynne Findlay was announced as the winner, some members of the audience broke into KLF chants. But you could also sense that the air was leaving the room a little bit for some of the other supporters. I mean, it was a really close result. And if you're a supporter of Caroline Elliott, and if you get as far as you did, there's no reason why you shouldn't feel disappointed, so to speak. That's just a natural human reaction. But yes, you raise a good point. What happens next for the party? The prevailing theory is that there are two parts within the party. You have the sort of the moderate right of center wing of the party, and perhaps the best representative or the most obvious representative for that wing is Peter Millibar, and he went out on the first round. And then you have the more populist wing of the party, and based on Saturday's result, it's clear that the more populist wing of the party has come out ahead. Now, many criticized Caroline Elliott for being sort of a BC liberal somebody who's trying to subvert the party as a former BC Liberal, but I don't necessarily buy that. She also has some pretty populist positions. So ultimately, Saturday's win makes it clear that the party is drifting, or that the party has moved toward a more populist orientation. But that doesn't necessarily erase some of the issues that still exist within the party, and some of the issues Kerry-Lynne Findlay created for herself when she suggested that Peter Millibar had a conflict of interest over Drippa because his immediate family, his wife, children, grandchildren, are indigenous. By that logic, Alia Warbus, the House leader, who is indigenous, also has a conflict of interest when it comes to Drippa. Her supporters will want some of the more juicier posts in caucus, and then eventually perhaps down the line in cabinet. There might be sort of changes in various policy positions that would move the party again further to the right on cultural issues such as SOGI, such as vaccines. So those are all the issues that are sort of hanging over this party a little bit going forward. Obviously, the campaign was designed in such a way to generate some interest for the party, to raise some money, to create buzz, and I would say that the campaign accomplished that. The party is flush with cash. A lot of people followed the campaign. The party has grown from about 6,000, 7,000 in late 2025 to more than 42,000. So that's a massive jump. The party claims to be the largest political party in BC. So those are all good things, but from the perspective of the Conservatives, now they need to get down to business and start to sort of introduce Kerry-Lynne Findlay to the rest of the province. Remember, leadership races are not general elections. They appeal to a very very small fraction of British Columbians. Many British Columbians, most British Columbians didn't pay attention, and it'll be up now to the Conservatives to, as I say, introduce Kerry-Lynne Findlay to the rest of the province. And the one thing that cannot happen, from my perspective, for the Conservatives, is to allow the NDP to define her. It was mere moments after KLF or Kerry-Lynne Findlay was announced as winner. The NDP had put out a press release saying that the Trump wing, the MAGA wing of the party, had now seized control. And speaking of divisions within the party, the press release quoted Peter Millibar several times, his previous comments about perhaps having some reservations about serving under Kerry-Lynne Findlay. So he sort of served as a crown witness for the NDP prosecution's case against Kerry-Lynne Findlay.
We'll have to see how it all gets spun. I got to let you go because we're right at a time. But Wolfgang Depner with the Canadian Press, he was there covering it as Kerry-Lynne Findlay emerged as the new leader of the BC Conservative Party on the fourth ballot at Saturday's result of the leadership contest. Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Always happy to be on. And good morning to everyone again.
CFAX Victoria.